Guten Tag, it's Rich from Hughes and Kettner, and welcome to Pedal Heaven, or at least the Pedal Heaven that is available at Guitar Summit 2019. Now, what we get a lot online and in person as well, actually, is questions about how the Black Spirit 200 line of amps takes effects pedals. And so what we're going to be doing today is walking around the show with the Black Spirit 200 floor. We're going to take it around to some of our favorite pedal companies who are in here. We're going to put distortions and gains, maybe some clean boosts and some tube screamery type stuff in the front. We're going to find a few cool modulation effects, delays and reverbs to put in the back. And what we're going to do is find out how they sound, get a nice explanation from the people at the pedal companies as well to hear what they think about it, get them to dial in some awesome sounds, which we'll then maybe save as some presets for you, and that's how it's going to work. And our first victims today are the lovely guys at VS Audio. If we just work our way through the crowds here. Handmade in Greece. The pedals are very fine things indeed. And here we are at our very first setup, so let's go and take a look and see what we've got.
It works.
Perfect. All right, so my first victim is Vangelis from VS Audio in Greece. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this.
For having us.
Yeah. So tell us about the two pedals that you bought today that we're going to put into the effects loop of the Black Spirit 200.
All right. These are new for 2019. First, we have a full analog stereo chorus. We can have the possibility and the ability to store up to 6 presets. All right. Then we have a full analog stereo delay, again with tap tempo, and we have the possibility and the ability to store up to 6 presets. Then with a TRS cable, we can connect the two together and we can change presets from one pedal. So this is a master and a slave. We have the ability to change the presets on this one separately and return again on the same preset.
Okay, so you can control both pedals from one pedal really easily if you're working live or something.
Yes, it's fully analog path, audio path, digital control. No MIDI, just a TRS cable.
Okay.
And this one goes up to 600 milliseconds, has a built-in modulation on the repeats, and we can hear them now. That's the basic stuff I can tell you about it.
Okay, so which sound without the effects did you use on the amp? It's just a very basic clean sound, right? Show us that a little bit.
I'm using the clean sound, a little bit broken drive sound, which is my favorite. And first we're going to use a delay, the chorus. It's on the effects loop. It's after the amp. So clean sound. Then we go to our chorus. It works great. Then I'll show you the delay.
I have to trust you that it sounds great because I can't hear it, but
You have to take my word for it.
I believe you.
Exactly. This is the analog delay. A little bit of modulation. And now the cool stuff is we go to preset mode. All right. And we can control 6 presets from one pedal. Yeah, you can see the lights changing. Or I can change the presets on this one and go back, change them both. And that's the thing. Of course, you can go wacky, do crazy stuff with the analog delays. fits. And you can go crazy with this one too. You can go up to having like a rotary sound. Or if you're drunk and you want to let it out, feeling seasick. But it was great with this, with drives and stuff like that. Yeah, it sounds fantastic with this one. Back to the clean sound. So that's it.
Well, wonderful. Yeah, I can't wait to actually
Yeah.
hear it for myself as well. Thank you very much for taking the time to tell us about this.
Thank you very much. We're always using Hughes and Kettner stuff on our booth. Thank you for letting us to demo the pedals. Sounds great. And this one sounds great too.
Thank you very much. Friends of the brand. So just tell us finally, when and where can people find these two pedals?
All right. We can find us at vsaudio.com. We're from Athens, Greece. They will be released at the end of October. And there will be, of course, videos on the YouTube. And this one will be around $249 street price. This one around $279 street price. Handmade in Greece, full analog, digital controlling. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Vangelis
much for having us.
from VS Audio, our first victims for today.
Yep.
Running these in the effects loop. Let's move on. Now I've got myself a pair of headphones and I am with Tsakalis from Crazy Tube Circuits.
Hey there, how's it going?
Yeah, nice to have you on. You're the next victim for us today, and we've got the Sidekick in the Black Spirit 200 effects loop. Tell me a little bit about that pedal, and then let's hear some sounds.
All right, so the Sidekick is an all-in-one solution for a small fly rig. It's a modulation pedal, essentially. You get a chorus and flanger section inspired by the Boss C2 sounds. Then you have a stripped-down version of our delay, time. And then you have a version of our reverb, splash, for the last part of the modulation. And you get a headphones output, you get a DI output and an instrument output. Yep. You have the option to engage a speaker simulator for the DI and the headphones output. Separate volume control for the headphones. Ground lift, minus 15 dB pad for in case you're running too hot for the front of house. Yep. And we've included a preamp, so that you can accommodate any kind of instrument, whether it be guitar or acoustic instrument or bass. Yeah. So for me, this is like an all-in-one solution for a small portable board, maybe add a drive before that, or a really cool pedal amp.
Or something like that. Yeah. And this is for all your modulation needs then. Okay, so we'll hear some sounds, but first tell me, what basic sound did you dial in from the amp?
Well, it's a crunchy, slightly overdriven sound, sort of sound that I like to use as my main tone.
So let's hear that, and then let's hear the Sidekick. Yeah. Has a really rich sound, especially when you kicked in the shimmer reverb. I really like that.
Yeah, this is a brand new algorithm, and you can only find it on splash, actually.
What does the Excite button do on the reverb then?
Well, the Excite button is a mixture of decay, pre-delay, and a bit of modulation. It works a little bit different on each algorithm.
Okay.
For instance, the Exciter is one of all-time favorites from. You can find it on Splash, our flagship reverb.
Yep.
You can hear the modulation on there.
Yep. So you've got access to some pretty long decay times on the reverb as well. You've got access to a lot of pretty long decay times on the reverb as well.
Oh, yeah, you can dial in smaller room sounds, of course, if you like it too.
Yeah.
So, say, let's do.
On the plate setting now?
Right?
Yeah. It works.
It does.
It does it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Do you have access to anything like preset saving or MIDI with any of this, or is it just three buttons and that's it?
It's just three buttons. Actually, it's all three separate effects. So all three have their own circuit inside. It's just like having three proper pedals in one.
Three pedals in
box.
one.
Exactly.
So it truly is your modulation reverb sidekick. So now the name makes sense. All right, so thank you very much for telling me about this, the Sidekick from Crazy Tube Circuits. Finally, though,
All right. Yeah.
where can people get it? When?
Well, they can get it online. We have a bunch of dealers around the world. Germany, of course, Holland, all over Europe, States, anywhere.
Yeah.
Find us online. You can always check on our website, www.crazytubecircuits.com, and you can see all the news. You can subscribe to the newsletter. You know, all the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Wonderful. Cheers. We'll move on. Thank you very much. All right, you ready to go?
Was born already.
Wow, like Chuck Norris.
Exactly.
I understand it all now. Back in the room with Nikos from Tsakalis. That sounds a bit like Chuck Norris in Greece.
And it wasn't just luck.
It's all fate, all planned. And what do we have here but the Tsakalis 6 pedal?
Exactly.
Yes.
This is our latest one, and it was introduced at the NAMM show in the Winter NAMM 2019.
Yeah.
And what it is, it's basically Chris's who makes the pedals. His favorite elements from the Timmy, the King of Tone and the Bluesbreaker overdrives, the amazing, famous Holy Grails overdrives, and he combined his favorite elements of these pedals with what he calls coupling, capless technology. He didn't include any coupling capacitors in the audio path, which supposedly makes it more natural and less compressed. I just like the sound. I know nothing about technical stuff. I only play it.
If it sounds good, it is good, I would say. But yeah, I first heard about this pedal during NAMM as well, because I'm a pedal fiend, just like all of you guys. And when I heard that there's a drive pedal out there that has 6 sounds and it is modeling those 3 legendary drives, the Timmy, the Bluesbreaker, and the King of Tone, I was like, oh, can this be possible? And from what I heard so far, it sounds like it might be, but let's let the sounds be the judge of that.
It's not exactly modeling them, it's just a combination of his favorite elements of all these 3 pedals. Yeah. And the cool thing about it is that you also get the ability to use it in 9 volts or 18 volts without having to use a different power supply, because there's an internal voltage doubler, so you always use a standard 9 volt negative pin power supply, and you can turn it into 18 volts with the flip of the toggle switch.
Does that give you like more headroom or something?
Yes,
or?
exactly. More headroom, and in 9 volts it's easier to break up. It's edgier, a bit edgier, and if you're going for more volume, then 18 volts is probably best for you.
Okay, perfect. So we're going to hear it now, but first let me just explain very quickly that we're using the brand new Black Spirit 200 floor amp here, of course. One of the new features are the 2 pre-loops here. So you have the option, just like we're doing here with the 6, to put your gain pedals in front of the amp and activate them within presets just by having the LED switched on like that. So what we'll do first then, we hear the clean sound from the amp,
Yeah,
and then we hear the pedal. Let's do it.
Right now we're in booster mode.
Okay.
Just saying.
And now with the pedal. Just giving you a little bit more, right? A little bit more of what you need.
In 9 volts, you'll see that it breaks up more.
Yep, sure.
Then we go to Overdrive 1. Let's go to 18 volts. Overdrive 2.
So it's certainly different voicings of gain and also like an increase in the overall amount of gain, right?
And here in Distortion 1, what I love about this mode, which is one of my favorites, is the fact that even though I have a fair amount of gain on there, I can do...
Cleans up real nice.
very responsive and dynamics.
Very dynamic.
And we're running in 18 volts. In 9 volts, it's even dirtier. We do we can even do something like
So it's incredibly touch responsive.
it is. Now, let's see This is an overall tone, and you control the highs from here. And the last mode is Overdrive 1 into Distortion 2.
Okay.
Okay. Articulate it is when it comes to actually playing separate notes in chords. This is one of my favorite features of this pedal. Even in higher gain settings.
Totally focused, not mushy at all. You really do hear the string separation and all 6 of those notes.
You basically hear the instrument. And this is what coupling technology is all about, what he calls it, as I understand as a musician and not a technician, but I actually can hear the character of the instrument more with this pedal. It's not the kind of pedal that you use, you want a ton of gain, Of course, you can drive an already dirty amp even further if you want, but I personally use it with a clean amp and get pretty much many different dirt tones from it with my hands.
Exactly, yeah, it's all about that, and I bet it responds well to the volume control on the guitar if you're playing that way as well. Well, thank you so much, Nikos, for taking us through the Six. I'm pretty sure this is the overdrive pedal that Chuck Norris would use if he played guitar.
That's the one he is using. No.
He was using it before you created the company. Exactly. That's how it works. That's how it works with Chuck Norris. Thank you so much again. Oh, cheers. Thank you. And yeah, like I said, we're going into the pre-loops of the Black Spirit 200 floor there, taking advantage of the system, just like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great.